Okay, take important question. I have sent the PDF. Important question in admission of a partner. Taken?
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Madhuri and Arsh were partners in a firm, sharing profit and losses in the ratio 3:1. There are two partners in a business partnership firm. Their profit sharing ratio is 3:1. Balance sheet as at 31st March 2019 as follows. So balance sheet of old partners are given. Always remember, whenever you are seeing any balance sheet in admission, it is old partner's balance sheet. New partner has nothing to do with this. Now, so what I said, whenever you see the balance sheet, first always focus in the liability side, see any distributable item is there. Then in asset side also you have to see any item is there to write off. So what are the items to be distributed in liability side? See, if you see in this question, workmen's compensation reserve is given, but you cannot distribute this as it is. Is there any claim? You should first see. So we will see when we will read the adjustment. And employees provident fund, kindly write it down. It is not at all a distributable item. Employees provident fund should be given to the employees who are working in the business. It is partners have no right to distribute this, because what happens, many students they get confused. They think the fund word is written, it means it is distributable. They will distribute among old partner, old ratio. Question will go wrong. So it's a request, kindly, as important note, write it down clearly. Employees provident fund is a liability which is not distributable among old partner, old ratio. Suppose the question asks you to prepare any new balance sheet. In that new balance sheet, liability side, you have to show employees provident fund. I hope it is clear. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, dear. Okay. Students do this mistakes. That's why I'm telling you. By reading only the word fund, all fund are not distributable. You have to understand which are distributable, which are not distributable. Now, creditors, it's a liability. That's all. Capital of Madhuri Harsh. Come to asset side. See, any thing is given to write off, like any existing goodwill, any deferred revenue expenditure, advertisement suspense, or PL account debit balance, that is loss. All these, if you find anything in the asset side, that should be written off. Nothing is given. Fine. We will move to the question. On 1st April 2019, they admitted Jyoti into partnership for 1/4 share in the profits of the firm. So who is Jyoti? She is the new partner. She is coming on 1st April 2019. And for how much? For 1/4 share. Everything is given in question. Jyoti brought proportionate capital. So what I said, there are two types of capital adjustment mainly. Third type is also there, but it is very rare. Mainly two types we consider in our this admission of a partner, adjustment of capital, which comes in exam. So this is one of the type. Proportionate capital means when you read the question carefully, you will find that how much the new partner Jyoti is bringing capital into the business is not given. That is only one type of capital. So it is very easy. Just you have to find out how much Jyoti, the new partner, she is bringing capital, her share of capital into the business. This is one type of capital adjustment. And 40,000 as her share of goodwill premium. So goodwill premium she is bringing, it is clearly mentioned. How much? 40,000. Fine. The following were agreed upon. These are the terms and conditions. Provision for doubtful debt was to be maintained at 10% on debtors. So provision should be 10% on debtors. So first see how much debtors amount given in our asset side. It is given how much? After that old provision is given, provision for doubtful debts 10,000 means it is the old provision. already created. So debtors is 1,20,000. They are asking you that 10% should be provision for bad and doubtful debts. Whenever this type of question comes now, you have to see whether any bad debts is given in question, because don't be hurry, because first you should know the process of this provision for doubtful debts. There are few steps you have to follow. What are those steps? Always, what is the rule, what I taught you? Whenever you find an adjustment provision for doubtful debts, you have to create on debtors. Debtors means the original debtors, not that debtors which comes after subtracting the old provision for doubtful debts. But before that, if any bad debts is given in your adjustment, always first you have to subtract that bad debts from the debtors, then whatever amount comes, you have to create provision. This is the rule you have to follow. That is the reason, just reading provision for doubtful debts, if you do the sum, afterwards some other adjustment will come, question will go wrong. So whenever you do this type of big questions, have a glance what are the things given, and then you will have an idea what you have to do. See, in adjustment number 3, what they are saying, I also don't know, I am also going to read the question, just I am telling you. An old customer whose account of rupees 25,000 was written off as bad paid 15,000 in full settlement. This is not bad debts. I will explain everything. Let's see, 20% of the investment, claim on account, credit is okay. In this particular question, like that nothing is given. But in some of the question, what will happen? In the first, they will say like create 10% doubtful debts or maintain, both means the same. But in the last or middle of the adjustment, they may give that bad debts amount to this. So if you don't read all the adjustments, what you will do? Directly you will see the original debtors, you will create provision, you will then do as it is, question will go wrong. That's the reason I am telling, always first read all the adjustment, then try to solve the question. In this, nothing like that is given. So what you have to do, what is the original debtors? 1,20,000. That is the original debtors. Always you have to create on that only. So if you create 10% on that, how much amount will come? 10% of 1,20,000, 20,000, no. How much? 1,20,000. You have to create how much? 10%. So 12,000, how much? 12,000 only, na? 1,20,000 original debtors, 10% of 1,20,000 is how much? 12,000, right? Yes? Why no replies?
Yes,
okay, fine. So what the question is asking you, only 12,000 the provision for doubtful debts should be created or maintained. But what you have to check, is there any old provision? Yes, in your question, in balance sheet, whatever provision is given, that is known as old provision. And in adjustment, they are asking you to create 10% provision, that is new provision. Okay. So now what you will do? So the old provision is 10,000. What is the meaning of this old, new and all? Already there is provision of 10,000 in the business, which was already created. That is why we are saying it is as old provision. But now the question tells you to maintain 10%, which is 12,000. So when already 10,000 provision is there in the business, they are asking you to maintain 12,000, means only 2,000 more if you create, then the amount 12,000 provision will come, na? So just 2,000 more you have to create. So this 2,000 which you are going to create is a loss for the business. Already this 10,000 loss has been recorded in the business in the book of accounts. More the new 2,000 provision you have to create, which is again a loss, and you have to record. So it is increase in liability. How? Any provision is a liability. First thing, provision for depreciation, provision for doubtful debts, any provision, kindly write it down. Any kind of provision, it is created out of the profit to compensate the loss which may happen in future. So it is a liability. Now already we have the liability 10,000, that is the old provision, but now the liability has increased to 12,000, means more 2,000 liability has increased. So this you have to show in the revaluation account debit side, because there is increase in liability which is a loss for the firm. So to provision for doubtful debts 2,000. Now suppose in your question they are saying, for example, they are saying you to create 5% provision on debtors. For example, you have to maintain 5%. So 1,20,000, if you do 5%, it will come 6,000, right? Now they are asking you only 6,000 provision should be created, but already there is old provision 10,000. But in new balance sheet, when you will show the liability provision for doubtful debts, it should be how much? 6,000. So excess 4,000 is income. How? Liability is decreasing. Na? See, now the value of the liability is 6,000, but already the liability shown in balance sheet is how much? 10,000. In this way you can understand. So 4,000 liability has decreased. That is income for the business. That you will show in the credit side of revaluation account by provision for doubtful debts 4,000. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
There will be different case for this provision. Try to understand. One more case I will create. See, one more case the question is asking you, you should maintain provision for bad and doubtful debts 10,000. Already there is 10,000 provision. So is there any change in liability? Previously also the liability was 10,000. Now also liability they are asking you to maintain 10. There is no change. Nothing will come in revaluation account. Liability is as it is. You can show it in the new balance sheet if you are preparing. Question is asking you in the liability side. Try to understand. Always remember a very like what? Very simple thing. Provision for doubtful debts is a liability. So you have to see whether you have to compare the old provision with the new one, and you have to see liability is increasing, liability is decreasing, or liability is the same. If liability is the same, nothing to do. If liability increasing, by how much amount it is increasing, that is the loss. And in revaluation account in the debit side you can record. If the liability is decreasing, it is income, you can record in the credit side of revaluation account. Got it? Swarnika, Sachin, Pavitra, got it dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the very important concept dear, it comes in your exam. One adjustment will be there, and one more important concept again I am repeating. If bad debts is given in adjustment and then they are asking you to create provision, always first from debtors you have to subtract bad debts. That is the step you have to follow given in adjustment. Then whatever amount comes, in that you have to create provision for bad and doubtful debts. Without subtracting bad debts from debtors, if you create provision, question will go wrong. Kindly write it down. These are the very simple things where you all people make mistake. That's why I am repeating all these things. Already I have taught you, but again I am repeating. Kindly write it down. It will help you only. So if bad debts is given in adjustment, again listen carefully. I am talking in adjustment, not in balance sheet. So don't get confused. If in adjustment bad debts are given and they are asking you to create provision also in adjustment, always subtract bad debts from the debtors, then create provision. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you repeat once, ma'am?
Yeah. See, in adjustment, if two things are given, bad debts, and they are asking you to create provision for bad and doubtful debts, then what you will do? First, check the balance sheet asset side, the original debtors. From that, subtract the bad debts given in adjustment. Then whatever amount is coming, in that amount you should create the provision. Now got it, Sachin?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you written all the three? Kindly write it down dear. These are the simple things where
Yes,
students make mistake. Okay, fine. So Okay. Now stock was undervalued by 10,000. Now what they are saying, there is reduction in the value of stock. By how much amount they are saying? 10,000. Okay, fine. So come back to balance sheet question. See how much stock is given. Stock is given 1,40,000. Now what the question is telling you? Question tells you there is less in the value of stock by 10,000. What do you understand? It's a loss. 10,000 is the loss for the business because now the value of the stock is 1,30,000. What is the meaning of this? Stock was undervalued. BY. Again, there is an important concept. There is a difference by BY and TO2. I will explain you. And there are some important adjustments in revaluation account which I will give you afterwards the notes, and I will explain all those. In exam, from that also the question will come in adjustment. I will teach you everything, okay, important things. So first we will finish this. See, stock was undervalued by 10,000 means 10,000 is the loss. There is decrease in the value of stock by 10,000. So in revaluation account you will write to stock 10,000. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
No. No. It's wrong because all the students they understand like this only. Undervalued means they think there is decrease in the value of stock and they do this mistake. Okay. See, what is the meaning of this undervalued means? The stock value is like the firm has shown 10,000 less. Okay. Suppose the value is 1 lakh. But the firm is showing only 90,000. Kindly write it down. Undervalued means it is not the meaning there is decrease in the value of stock. No. Undervalued means value of stock is being shown less. So if the value of stock is shown less, you have to increase the value of stock because it is a mistake, right? Okay. Suppose you got in accounts 45 for example, okay, out of 80. But when you do the calculation of marks, you are getting 55. So 10 marks undervalued. You will go to your teacher and say 10 marks you have reduced. Now she will increase the marks in order to get the correct marks, right? The same thing is happening here. The stock value is suppose 1 lakh real value, and that 1 lakh you means the business or the accountant should show in the asset side of the balance sheet, but by mistake they reduced the value by mistake. It is not the reality. By mistake they reduced 10,000 or 10% and now they are showing the less value. So it is not a loss. By mistake the accountant has undervalued the stock. Value of the stock is like you have to increase by 10,000. Then you will get the original value. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So kindly write it down in your own words. Kindly write it down. Yes, Swarnika, tell me dear. Yes, Swarnika. You want to ask something? Swarnika, am I audible? You want to ask something, dear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Fine, dear. So kindly write it down. Whenever undervalued. Yes? Okay. So whenever undervalued word is used in stock, kindly write it down. Whenever undervalued is used in stock, it means you have to increase the value of stock. Undervalued means you have to increase the value of stock. And suppose overvalued word is used. Suppose in place of undervalued, the question tells you stock was overvalued by 10,000 means again there is a mistake. The stock value is, as I told you, the real value of the stock is 1 lakh, for example. Suppose overvalued means in the business is showing 1,10,000, but the real value is 1 lakh only. 10,000 excess they are showing. Now you have to decrease the value. So you will write in the debit side of revaluation account that 10,000. But undervalued means you are showing less. If you are showing less, the value is more, means you have to increase the value of the stock or any other asset. Understood the concept? Are you understanding, you people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Maximum students do this mistake only. And by saying the word undervalued, they will think, okay, there is a loss. No, that's why I told you. And one more important thing I will teach you. In revaluation account, sometimes the amount will not be given. Like stock was undervalued by 10,000. In place of 10,000, they will say 10%. Then some other treatment you have to do. I will teach you. Okay, that are the important points which comes in exam. So kindly write it down. This undervalued, overvalued concept, you will get 100% confused. Write it down, revise nicely.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is income. This is not a loss. You have to show in the credit side. By stock 10,000, you have to increase the value of the asset because it is shown less. Now next. An old customer whose account of rupees 25,000 was written off as bad. What is the meaning of this particular line? An old customer means debtor. They are talking about debtor. Who is debtor? Debtor is a person to whom goods are sold on credit by the business, and debtor needs to make the payment to the business in future. Now what happened? You have read bad debts. In the same way, the old customer did not make the payment to the business. So bad debts happened in the business. In the past, they are talking about the past. For how much? 25,000 bad debts. That bad debts business has written off. Okay, fine. Now what the question says? Paid 15,000 in full settlement. After some years, the debtor who was bad in the past came back to the business and said, I am sorry, during that time I didn't have money to pay you, but now I am having the money, but I can't pay you entire 20,000 of my past debt, but I can pay 15,000 out of that. Are you understanding the question? So this is not the bad debts. Again the question, the students will make mistake. By reading old customer of 25, the written bad, they will think it's a bad debts. Then they will subtract from debtors, question will go wrong. These are the important things you have to understand. This is not bad debts. Question is not telling about bad debts. Question is telling in the past there was bad debts 25,000. Now the business has written off. Written off means removed from book. What is the meaning of written off? Now this bad debt doesn't exist in the book. The debtor doesn't have any place in the book of accounts. Business has removed him, thrown him out of the books, knowing that he is not going to pay anything and the debt has become bad. So now after few years, after some years, he is coming back and paying 15,000. Now you will not think this as bad debts and you are not going to do anything. What you will do? This is known as bad debts recovered. This is the income for the business. Okay, you have to treat it as normal income. It has nothing to do with bad debts. Kindly write it down. This particular point has nothing to do with bad debts. It doesn't have any connection. You are not going to link this with bad debts. What you have to do, just treat it as normal income. If it is income, if there is any income, what you will do, just you have to show in the credit side of revaluation account. By what name? By bad debts recovered. This is income. There is an income. So by bad debts recovered 15,000 you have to show. Are you understanding? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and suppose the question asks you to prepare balance sheet, new balance sheet. Then you have to add this bad debts 15,000 in cash. Why you will add in cash? Because the person or the old customer will come and pay you 15,000 in cash only. So cash balance of the business will increase along with the increase in income of the business. Kindly understand, write it down clearly. So this is not bad debts, no treatment for bad debts. It is extra income. It will be added in cash if you are preparing new balance sheet, and in revaluation account you have to show in the credit side of revaluation account because it is a income. Yes, Varnika, Pavitra, it's clear to both of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Now the next adjustment. 20% of the investment were taken over by Arsh at book value. So go back to your balance sheet question. See how much investment is there? 1,10,000. So for 1,10,000 investment is there in balance sheet. Now what the question is telling, who is Arsh ARSH? He is the partner in business. He is taking investment. But again, is he taking 1,10,000 entire investment? No. What the question is telling? 20% of the investment. So you have to calculate. What is 20%? 20% of 1,10,000 you have to calculate. At book value, now what is the meaning of book value? Book value means 1,10,000 is the book value only. The value of the asset shown in balance sheet, that is known as book value. So whenever any partner takes any asset at book value means you have to understand again, there is no profit, no loss for the firm. There is no profit, no loss. If there is no profit, no loss, then it will not come in revaluation account. What comes in revaluation account if there is increase in the value of asset or decrease in the value of asset? If he is the partner Harsh is taking for 20% the same value, there is no increase in the value of investment, no decrease in the value of investment. So nothing will come in revaluation account. Then what will be the journal entry? See, 1,10,000, 20% means 22,000 investment is being taken by Arsh. So the journal entry will be, Arsh is the partner, he needs to make the payment to the business, and as per the rule, if any partner will make any payment to the business, you have to debit that partner's capital account. This is the rule we have learned. So the same rule applies here also. Arsh is taking investment, he is the partner. So Arsh capital account debit by how much? 22,000. Then to what you will do? The value of the asset is decreasing. Now in new balance sheet you have to subtract 22,000 from 1,10,000. So 22,000 value of investment is decreasing. If value of any asset decreases, what you will do? You will credit the account as per rule of debit and credit. So to investment account 22,000. If suppose the question tells you the Arsh is taking 20% investment for 25,000. For example, listen the question carefully what I said. Arsh is taking the investment, 20% of the investment for rupees 25,000. So first you have to calculate 20% means how much investment he is taking from business. It comes 22,000, but for 25,000 he is taking. So he is paying more 3,000. The value of the asset is 22,000 only, but he is paying more. There is increase in the value of asset 3,000. That is income for the business. That 3,000 you have to show in the credit side of revaluation account. What you will show? Now what will be the journal entry first? The journal entry will be Arsh capital account debit. Okay. Harsh should pay 25,000. So Arsh capital account debit 25,000 to to cash account and to what? Investment account. So no, sorry, I'm really sorry. Arsh capital account debit to investment account to revaluation account. See, Arsh capital account, Arsh needs to pay to the business 25,000. So in Arsh capital account, you will write 25,000. Business will ask 25,000 from Arsh. So his capital account will be debited by 25,000. To investment, actually what is the value of the investment? 22,000. So 22,000, the original value is decreasing. So to investment 22,000. What about the 3,000? That is extra income for the business. So that you have to show on the credit side of revaluation account. So you have to write to revaluation account 3,000. So Arsh capital account debit 25,000. To investment account 22,000, to revaluation account 3,000. This will be the journal entry. So in this way you have to show in the revaluation account what you will show. 3,000 you have to show, but what you will write there, you have to write by Arsh capital account. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The same applies for loss. Suppose the question says the same, like Harsh is taking. Yes, Vanika? Okay. Suppose the question says 22,000 investment is taken by Harsh for 20,000. Then you have to understand the value of the asset is 22,000, but partner is taking for 20,000. There is a loss. 2,000 is the loss. That loss you have to show in the debit side of revaluation account, because Harsh is paying 20,000. Investment is 22,000. 2,000 is the loss. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So here no loss, no profit. He is taking at book value. So you can write directly in partner's capital account. Which side you will be writing? In the debit side, because partner needs to make the payment of 22,000 to the business. You don't write like MAJ, you have to write the full form. So simultaneously prepare the revaluation format, partner's capital account format and balance sheet, because they are asking you to prepare all these three. So be ready with these formats and start doing the sum. Okay, fine. So you have to write all the like full form, the names you have to write Madhuri, Arsh, Jyoti. Don't write like me, MAJ. You have to write the full form. Okay. Now the next adjustment, claim on account of WCF. WCF means Workmen's Compensation Fund. Amounted to rupees 70,000. The workers are asking 70,000 from the business to make payment. Now you have to see, because already that fund is created. 60,000 reserve is there in the business and business needs to make payment 70,000. Excess 10,000 is the loss for the business. That loss will come in the revaluation account debit side. It's a loss to workmen compensation claim 10,000. Then you will prepare the new balance sheet. How much you will show as liability? 70,000 you have to show. So workmen compensation claim 70,000 you will show in the liability side of the balance sheet. In future, the business will make payment to workers 70,000. That's what, it's a liability you will show. And the 10,000 loss you have to show in the debit side of revaluation account. To workmen compensation claim 10,000. Already 60,000 reserve is there, but the claim is for 70,000. 10,000 excess, which is a loss. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Suppose there is no claim, anything may come. So focus on concept. Suppose no claim, no reserve is created by the business. In balance sheet you are seeing nothing. But in adjustment, in question they are giving you that workmen's compensation claim is 70,000 means, can anyone tell? Anyone wish to like try? Give a try. Sachin, can you try if this is the case? suppose there
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
yeah, suppose this is a case, there is no like no reserve or no fund for workmen is created. In your balance sheet you are seeing nothing, but in adjustment the question tells you workman's claim is 70,000. In that case what you will do?
Ma'am, directly we have to write as workman claim 70,000, ma'am.
Excellent. And in revaluation account also entire 70,000 you should show as loss, because nothing, no loss is
Yes, ma'am.
recorded earlier, na? Earlier no loss
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have recorded. So entire 70,000, there is increase in liability, entire 70,000 you will show in the debit side. And suppose new balance sheet you are preparing, liability side you have to show workman's compensation claim 70,000. Good, because anything
Yes,
they may
ma'am.
ask. Yeah. If there is
Yes, ma'am.
reserve and if it is created like claim is less, then you know the rest of the amount will be distributed among old partner, old ratio. Yes, okay, fine. Now next, creditors included, sixth adjustment. Creditors included a sum of 27,000 which was not likely to be claimed. Again, very important. See, what is the meaning of this particular line? Creditors, how much creditors given? See, liability side of the balance sheet, 1,90,000 total amount of creditors. Okay, out of that they are saying 27,000 creditors, we don't have to make payment to them, which was not likely to be claimed. Means the creditors are not asking any claim, creditors are not asking to make the payment. How much? 27,000 amounted creditors. So if creditors are not like demanding the claim for 27,000, obviously it's a income, liability is decreasing now, liability is decreasing, so it is income for the business. This 27,000 first you have to show in the credit side of revaluation account, because liability is decreasing and it's a income. So you will show there by creditors 27,000, and in new balance sheet where you will show from creditors 1,90,000, you have to subtract 27,000, because now you don't have to make payment for these 27,000 creditors. Rest you can show in the new balance sheet. Yes, any doubt till here anyone is having?
No, ma'am.
Okay, extremely important question, dear. All the good points I have taken. Okay, all these are good points. Okay, fine. Now prepare revaluation account, partners capital and balance sheet of reconstituted firm. Reconstituted means after making the new partnership agreement, after the joining of the new partner. Fine. So revaluation account, in the debit side, what items will go? To workmen's compensation claim. Don't write WC, it's a request. Teacher will definitely cut your marks. So write the full form. To workmen's compensation claim 10,000. Then to provision for bad and doubtful debts 2,000. Then in the credit side there is less value of stock shown, so you have to increase the value of the stock that undervalued I taught you. So by stock 10,000, bad debts recovered income 15,000, creditors there is decrease in the liability 27,000. Now if you do the sum total of debit and credit side, you will find in the credit side 52,000 and debit side it is less. Debit side how much? Only 12,000. So it is profit. There is profit on revaluation account. First write 52,000 both the side. Then put double underline. Then in the debit side write to profit on revaluation account transferred to. Write it full form. Don't write like this. You have to write Madhuri, Ash, whatever the name of the partners given in question. Capital account. So you have to write in this way. Madhuri's capital account, Arsh capital account. Because this profit will be given in capital account of these old partners. In which ratio? Old ratio given in our question. 3:1. So 40,000 profit will be shared in 3:1. Madhuri will get 30,000. Arsh will get 10,000. Any doubt in revaluation account?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you done revaluation account done?
Ma'am, 1 second.
Okay, fine. Yes, Varnika, Pavitra, are you doing, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Do it. All three of you, your handwriting is really very nice, and your presentation, everything is very nice. Maintain this throughout the year. Don't scribble. It's really nice in the sense the teacher should understand what you have written, and cutting should not be there. In accounts, the working notes should be properly done. Presentation matters a lot. So all the three you are doing nicely. Keep it up and continue throughout the year. Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall we move to partners capital account?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So partners capital account. First, always you have to write by balance BD. Where you will get this balance BD? You have to see liability side of the balance sheet given in question. Old partners capital balances are given. Madhuri, Harsh, 3 lakh, 2 lakh. Just copy that here. By balance B slash D means brought down. So Madhuri, Ash, Jyoti, write the full form. Don't write like this. So 3 lakh, 2 lakh. Jyoti, just put a like sleeping line. You have to put dash because we don't know how much Jyoti brought. That only you have to find out, and that is only capital adjustment. We will do. Now, but Jyoti, she brought her share of goodwill. How much? 40,000. So now what is the sacrificing ratio in this question? Again, as I told you, two conditions are satisfied here also. What are those conditions? New ratio not given in your question. Then the old partner, how much they are giving from their share of profit to the new partner, not given again in your question. When these two conditions are satisfied, always old ratio equals to sacrificing ratio. So here old ratio is 3:1. Sacrificing ratio is also 3:1. But this will not be there in all the cases. Again and again I am repeating. Don't get confused. Only these two conditions should be satisfied. Then only you can assume old ratio equals to sacrificing ratio. Otherwise you have to calculate sacrificing ratio. If new ratio is given in your question, old ratio is given in your question, you can't apply this. Question will go wrong. You have to calculate sacrificing ratio by using the formula old minus new if new ratio is given. Since it is not given, that's the reason I am telling old equals to sac. If you do, then also you will get the same only. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now premium for goodwill, whatever brought 40,000, because new partner Jyotish is bringing in cash. The question tells you. Obviously, then you know the journal entry first. Premium, what will be? Bank account debit or cash account debit? Bank or cash, anything you can write. You have to see the balance sheet, whether it is cash or bank, whatever is given. If cash is given, you will write cash account debit to what you have to write. To premium for goodwill account, if bank account is given, you have to write bank account debit to premium for goodwill account. No need to pass any journal entry. Question is not asking you. But suppose the question asks journal entry, then you should know, na? That's why I am repeating this journal entry. So now what will be the journal entry? If the new partner brings goodwill in cash, cash account debit, or bank account debit to premium for goodwill. And what will be the second journal entry? Premium for goodwill account debit 40,000 to old partner's capital account and sacrificing ratio. Old partner Madhuri and Arsh. So they are going to get this 40,000 in 3:1 ratio. So when they will get anything, you have to credit their account by premium for goodwill account, credit side 30,000, 10,000. Then that revaluation profit also old partner will get So by revaluation 30,000, 10,000. Only Madhuri, Harsh, old partner only have the rights in revaluation profit or loss. Don't get confused. New partner will get nothing in this revaluation account. So don't get confused. Only old partner in old ratio, they will enjoy the profit or bear the loss. Whatever. If there is revaluation loss, then you have to write in the debit side of partner's capital account to revaluation account. It is a loss. So business will ask from the firm. See what I am telling. I mean to say the firm will ask from the partners. Firm will ask the partner to pay the loss. So you have to debit, because the rule is whenever partner is making any payment to the business, you have to debit their capital account. So if there is any loss in revaluation, the business will ask from partner needs to make the payment, so their capital account will be debited. In the debit side of partner's capital account, you have to write to revaluation, in bracket you can write loss, and in the old ratio you can share that loss. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, dear. So after doing all these things, what you are going to do, you first do the balancing part. So Jyoti, nothing in the credit side. We don't know how much capital she brought. She is a new partner that you have to calculate. So just put a blank. Then come to our old partners Arsh. If you see the credit side, 2 lakh plus 10,000 plus 10,000, 2 lakh 20,000 will come in the credit side of Arsh capital account. What about the debit side? Arsh has taken investment 22,000. He needs to make payment of this 22,000 to the business, but he needs to get from business 2 lakh 20. So just subtract 2 lakh 20 minus 22. Now how much capital he is having in the business? To balance carried down. How much? 1 lakh 98,000. What about this Madhuri? See the credit side. 3 lakh plus 30 plus 30. 3 lakh 60. What about debit? Debit side, she has nothing to pay to the firm. So she is having her capital 3 lakh 60 in the business. Now what you have to do, since it's a capital adjustment, because it's the capital adjustment, you have to write in this way. Otherwise the question get closed. You don't know this Jyoti's capital, you have to find out. So when you do in this way, it becomes easy for you. See, in the credit side, whatever CD you wrote, that is 3 lakh 60, 1 lakh 98, you can write in the credit side by balance BD, because this CD becomes BD for the next year. So you have to write by balance brought down. So Madhuri, she is having how much capital? 3 lakh 60, and Harsh, he is having 1 lakh 98,000. Jyoti, we don't know. Then what you will do? Now you have to calculate how to do the capital adjustment. Proportionate capital means the total amount of capital brought by the new partner Jyoti. So Jyoti, don't write J's share, you have to write Jyoti's share. Given in our question 1/4. So whenever we don't know the new partner's capital, you have to do in this way in order to calculate new partner's capital. These are the steps you have to follow. Proportionate capital, whenever the question asks you to calculate, you have to follow these steps. This is capital adjustment. So let total share be 1. Suppose total profit of the firm is 1. So you are assuming. Then remaining share means once you give the share of profit to the new partner, what will be the remaining part of the profit left for the old partners? That is the meaning of remaining share. So total share 1, 1 minus new partners share 1/4, 3/4 will be left in total amount of profit to be distributed among the old partner. So who are the old partner? Madhuri and Arsh. Their share is 3/4. Now you have to calculate the combined capital of Madhuri and Harsh. Please don't write MA, write the full form Madhuri Harsh, kindly write it down. Equals to, just now you calculated the balance CD now, 3 lakh 60, 1 lakh 98. This is the capital balances which the old partners are having now. You have to write the combined capital of old partner. When you add 3 lakh 60 plus 1,98,000, you will get 5,58,000. Now what is this? 5,58,000 is the capital. We call it as adjusted capital. These are the terms you must know. What is the meaning of adjusted capital? We have given whatever we have. We means I am talking about the business. Business paid everything like revaluation profit, the goodwill, everything paid to the old partners, and also took from Harsh the investment book value. After doing these things, we call it as adjusted capital of partners. So M plus A, their combined capital or adjusted capital is 5,58,000. But this 5,58,000 is for how much share of profit? 3/4, because their remaining share is 3/4. So for 3/4 their capital is 5,58,000. If for 3/4 capital is 5,58,000, it become easy for you to calculate capital of the firm, that is total capital you have to calculate. How you will calculate? Total capital equals to 5,58,000 multiplied by reciprocal of combined share of this Madhuri and Arsh. 3/4, just do the reciprocal. 4/3. So 7,44,000 is the total capital of the new firm, where capital of Jyoti is also included. So now how you will calculate the proportionate capital? You know, 1/4 share. So Jyoti's share 7,44,000 total capital. Jyoti's share 1/4. So 1,86,000 is the proportionate capital. Understood or having any doubt dear?
Understood, ma'am.
Yeah. This comes in exam, important question. So try to understand, solve it. Okay, fine. Now what you are going to do? You have found Jyoti's capital, just write it down. Come back to partner's capital account and write it down by bank, because you know the journal entry. If the new partner brings capital, bank account debit to new partner's capital account. So in the credit side you will write by bank account. In place of Jyoti's capital, you have to write 1,80,000. How much? 1,86,000. Write it down. The full half of the thing is cut. You write full form 1,86,000. Write it down. So now after doing this, you have to just close the account. Capital accounts of all the three partners. So if you see from last, we can see Jyoti's capital 1,86,000. Write both the side debit credit. Close it down. You can write 2 balance CD. CD means carried down. BD means brought down. This is the, now in new balance sheet you have to show this capital balance of these three partners. 3,60,000, 1,98,000, 1,86,000. These are the balance carried down, means these are the capital balances present in the new firm. So have you done with revaluation and partners capital account, or you need time to do it?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. What about Pavitra, Swarnika?
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Very good. Very good. So we are moving to balance sheet, because in your question they are asking you to prepare revaluation, partners capital account and balance sheet. So balance sheet, always don't forget to write the name as at 31st March 2019. Format you all know. Liabilities amount, assets amount. Workmen compensation claim 70,000 you have to show. This needs to be paid by the firm in future. It's a liability always. Creditors 1,63,000. How? 1,90,000 was shown in the old balance sheet, but there is adjustment. 27,000 creditor will not ask the payment. So you have to subtract 27,000 from 1,90,000. Now the liability is 1,63,000 only. Now capitals, all the three parts, you kindly write the full form again. I am repeating. Don't write MA, J and all. Madhuri's capital, Arsh capital, Jyoti's capital. Write full form in the inner column. 3,60,000, 1,98,000, 1,86,000. When you add all these capital, total capital of the firm will be new firm 7,44,000. And as I told you, employees provident fund is never ever distributable item. It should be paid to employees, not to partners. So you have to show it as liability only. Employees provident fund. Again write provident fund. Don't write PF. You have to write the full form. How much given in old balance sheet? 10,000. So when you do the sum total of liability side of our balance sheet, it comes 10,87,000. You can check whether it's coming or not. Now come to the asset side of our balance sheet. Debtors, how much? We are talking about the original debtors. 1,20,000. You have to subtract the provision 12,000 because the question tells you you have to create or maintain 12,000 provision. How 12,000? We know 10% of the debtors. So now 1,08,000 is the debtors. And what about stock? Stock shown in old balance sheet 1,40,000 because stock was undervalued 10,000. Now add that 10,000 in stock. So now the original value of stock is 1,50,000. What about investment? Investment also 22,000 taken by the partner. So you have to subtract that 22,000. Then you will get 88,000. What about machinery? There is no change in machinery. So write as it is 4,70,000. Cash, you have to change the balance of cash. Okay. In old balance sheet, how much cash is shown? It is shown 30,000. But there is a change. What are those changes? See, in that 30,000, the new partner is bringing his share of what? Capital, that is 1,86,000. So kindly write it on 1,86,000. It is not 86,000. It is 1,86,000. Jyoti, the new partner, she is bringing 1,86,000. So just correct it. It is not 86. It is 1,86,000. Then how this 40,000 came? The premium for goodwill brought by the new partner in cash. So 40,000 you have to add. Then how this 15,000 came? The bad debts recovered. That is income. It is received by the business in cash from the old customer. 15,000. When you add this 30,000 plus 86,000, sorry, 1,86,000, then 40,000, then 15,000. If you add all these, you will get 2,71,000. Then add the asset side of the balance sheet. It is 10,87,000. Now suppose, for example, in your question, they are giving one additional point that the goodwill, half of the goodwill is withdrawn by partners. Then you know their capital account, you will debit and all that you know. But in balance sheet, what you have to do? You have to subtract from cash, because what is the journal entry? If the partners, if they withdraw half of the goodwill brought by the new partner, suppose these two partners are withdrawing half of the goodwill, then Madhuri's capital account debit, Arsh capital account debit to cash. So cash is also reducing. That is the reason from this cash balance you have to subtract that amount. In this question nothing like that is given, but I am telling you the possibilities so that you don't make any mistake when the question asks you to do. Yes, any doubt so far, dear? Swarnika, Sachin, Pavitra. This question is clear?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So do it with proper working notes and everything. Presentation send me immediately. In the next class, that is today is Wednesday. Friday, this admission is clear from my side. From your side, I don't know whether you have touched the lesson, you have started practicing at home or not, I don't know anything. But from my side, I taught you everything. Now it's your turn to practice from your book all the questions and let me know where you are struggling so that I can help you out. So Friday we will be starting retirement, okay? Lot of chapters are there to start, okay? Retirement I will start on Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Once I finish retirement, I will give you few important revaluation adjustments. Give you means I will teach you. There are few important adjustments that I will teach you after finishing retirement, okay? Because in retirement also revaluation account is there. admission, retirement, everywhere this revaluation account is there. Treatment of goodwill is same. So once the concept is clear, it becomes easy for you to do admission or retirement. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Retirement is very easy, admission is tough. Retirement is very easy, and sometime in boards they give option, one question from admission, one question from this retirement in option, so you can see and do, but it's not like guarantee. I can't guarantee that every time they will give option. So if they don't give option, then you have to solve. So it's better to go through each and everything nicely, because I want my students to score good marks. Okay, so don't leave anything. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, dear. That's all for today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye.
dear.
Good night.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.